All right, the last shape we're looking at is a sphere. Now, a sphere does not have the same formula for volume because a sphere is a very unique three-dimensional shape. It does not have any sides and it's just around all the way. So the formula for this one is volume is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So for spheres, since we have 4/3, you have many options that you could do. You could divide by 3 and then multiply it by 4. What I recommend though is keeping that fraction, because by keeping that fraction you get a more exact number. And I know many of you are scared of fractions, but you shouldn't be. So I have 4/3, and something that you will also notice in your formula chart is that pi, we usually say it's 3.14. However, there is a fraction for it, and it's also in that formula chart. That formula chart tells you that the fraction for pi is 22/7. Okay? And after multiplying these two, we'll be able to multiply our radius cubed with it. Now for our radius cubed, we can see that in our sphere, this 5 right here is our radius because it only goes halfway for this circle in the center. So that means that we're going to be doing 5 times 5 times 5. Do not say that that is 15. 5 times 5 gives us 25, and then 5 times 25 gives us 75. So for our radius cubed here, it will equal 75. Now we'll be using that after we multiply 4/3 with pi. So we know that 4 times 22 gives us 88, and I know that 3 times 7 gives us 21. So far just looking at that, isn't that much easier than having to multiply the decimal 3.14 times the decimal 1.3 repeating? It actually is. That's why I recommend that y'all don't change that fraction to a decimal. So now that we have multiplied 4/3 with pi, let's go ahead and multiply that with our radius cubed. So we have 88 over 21 for 4/3 times pi. And we're going to be multiplying that with our radius cubed, which was the 75. To make that into a fraction, all I do is put it over 1, because if I divide 75 by 1, I know it still equals 75, so it didn't change my number. One thing you can do before multiplying is simplifying, if you'd like. If you don't want to, that's also okay. Let's just go ahead and start multiplying, okay? Now this would pretty much be done. This could be an answer choice, but just looking at that, I know it's an improper fraction, so I'll have to make it into a mixed number or a decimal, whichever one y'all prefer. We know that that fraction sign means to divide, which is what I'm going to have to do. So let's go ahead and do that. 6,600 divided by 21. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. You can continue if you want a decimal, or we can stop right here to get our mixed number. I know that this 314 is my whole number. The remainder down here is my numerator. And my denominator is what we had as our denominator before, which was 21. This can be simplified by 3. So if I do that, my final answer should be 314 and 3/7.